This conference will now be recorded.
Were you guys able to do the exercises? Any of you, any one of you? You can just tell me.
Uh, till 22nd, right? Swan,
Yes.
step. Yeah, I had completed that. Yeah.
Great, great. All right. So I think you were able to relate what we discussed yesterday, right? So everything was as per um, what we covered yesterday, correct?
Yes. The only thing which attributes we discussed yesterday, right? But like how do we use attributes for pricing and all that we didn't have there, right? We that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said
yeah.
it might be used
That
as a
will
pricing, not always.
that we will cover in the pricing session once we start the pricing. So today we will try to start the pricing. I'll let you know. Yeah, that is something that is not started yet. So that topic I have to cover. Okay.
Uh, Jai Santosh here. I have one small question. I mean, I was struggling on the proposal object wherein we need to configure the products. So there were multiple configure product buttons, and I was not able to see the required options which were mentioned in the next step. So just wanted to check that.
So yeah, I think actually there were there are multiple buttons there. So I think we just need to do some like what I'll do is I'll just do some page layout cleanup. So the other ideally we just have to use the configure products new UI.
New UI.
So
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Just wanted to know, I mean, which configure product button I need to click.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. All right. All right. Okay. So yeah, I think and we can just start with the next topic of constraint rules, and then we'll jump over to pricing. So all right. So the constraint rules. These are constraint rules are something that they are kind of if you try to relate it with Salesforce features, so maybe it is kind of a validation rule, we can say, or it is just a combination of workflow and validation rule. So so what we can do with constraint rule is that whenever a condition is met during the product selection, or whenever we are pricing the cart, like whenever we are clicking on reprice button on, or like whenever we are clicking on add to like a go to pricing, or whenever we are clicking on the finalize button. So whatever action that we are taking, what we can do is we can trigger a rule on the click of that action. And we can set up different types of constraint rules. So like we can set up inclusion, we can set up exclusion rule, validation, recommendation, and replacement. So there are 5 types of actions that we can take by setting up the constraint rule. So as you can see, this is a constraint rule structure. So this is how it looks like. So this is the first section is the constraint rule detail, where we have to put in the constraint rule name, like upgrade to sales CRM global for Safety Sandbox, and we have to make sure that this is active. And then we can also put in effective date and expiration date if we have to keep this particular rule active for a particular time. That we can do as well. And if we are keeping it, if we are not populating the dates, then it will be active for all time. And then we have this second part is constraint rule conditions. So in this, we put in the conditions and select the scope of the product. And then there are two check boxes, like two check boxes that we will see in the constraint rule condition, that is match in primary lines and match in options. So match in primary lines means that whatever like whenever you go to the cart, so if it is a bundle product or if it is a standalone product, it will check the condition, like it will check the scope of only those products which are primary lines, that is the bundle and standalone. Whereas if we check match in options, that means it will not take a look at the product like the bundle or standalone product, but it will take a look at the option products. So this so if you have, because you know there are if you are putting in some criteria, and if you just don't want to the system to evaluate all the products, then you can just use these check boxes to filter down your criteria. Like, so it's kind of easier for the system to only evaluate the products which you are looking for. And then the third one is the constraint rule action, where you like what action you want to take, that you have to define here. So, and this is also, if you want to apply to a primary lines or options, then you can set that up. So this is the constraint rule structure. So like example of constraint rule is say I have I have to make sure that whenever I'm selecting a product, the other product should not be added to the cart. Okay, so that is one example. So this is a kind of a constraint rule that I'm creating to make sure that when one product is selected, the other product should not be selected. So that is one example. So I'll just take you through all the examples of all the actions. So the constraint rule conditions, all conditions must be met by default. Behavior can be changed in condition criteria. So the conditions, they have to be met in order to execute the constraint rule. And we can use condition criteria to apply data oriented filters, example quantity greater than 2. So we can also put in filters, like if we want to only apply this particular constraint rule on the product where the quantity is greater than 2. So we can also do that. We can put in the rule condition under the condition section of the constraint rule. So this is something that we can do. And so now I'll talk about the examples. So first is the inclusion rule. So in the inclusion rule, whenever we are trying to add a product, what it will do is it will add another product with this with that product selection. So if you see in this example, under sales CRM category, I am trying to add mission critical success plan. Okay, so once I click on add to cart on mission critical success plan and then go to the cart, I will see that premier success plan is also automatically added onto the cart. So that means that there is a the rule, the inclusion rule, it triggered whenever I clicked when I selected the mission critical success plan. So when I clicked on add to cart, the inclusion rule fired in the background, and then it added the product, and it got added into the cart page. So this is an example of an inclusion rule. So inclusion is whenever you are adding one product, the other product gets added. So if we talk about any Amazon e-commerce example, so for example, if there's any promotional offer going on on Amazon or Flipkart, so so if we are purchasing if you are purchasing a MacBook, then AirPods are added automatically because there is an offer that is we are getting them for free. Okay, or if there's a dependent product, like if you are purchasing some particular device and you want to you cannot operate that device without purchasing another product, so then you can put in that condition, like you can put in the inclusion rule. So inclusion rule is basically in order to make sure that whenever a customer is purchasing something, we have to forcefully add another product onto the cart page for the customer. So but it doesn't mean that the customer cannot remove it, but like if he doesn't want it, maybe he can also remove it from the cart page. But the first action, like by default, with the help of inclusion rule, at least we will let the customer know that if you are purchasing this product, the other product you should also purchase. Okay, so any questions, or you understood?
Yes, Jay. I had a question. There was a slide where you were showing about the match in options and
Yes,
the other options.
yes.
I just wanted to know about the column where it's mentioned as match in asset. What is the use of that column there?
Okay, yeah. Asset. Yeah, this asset is matching asset is something that is like whenever a product is sold, we'll talk about the asset-based ordering, yeah, and then this is something that I'll also tell you when we'll do that advanced CPQ. So this is what happens is whenever a product is sold, it is called as an asset. Okay, so when you sell a product, and like whenever you are going into the, so this is whenever you are kind of modifying an existing code, like whenever you are doing a renewal or whenever you are trying to make changes to the product that you have already sold, then and if you want to match this with the constraint rules onto your sold products, then you check this checkbox. Okay, so asset is the products which are already sold. So it will, when you check this checkbox, it will check that list where the products are sold, and that list is visible when you go to the cart, and when you click on the installed products button, then you see that list. We'll talk about that later. We have that planned,
Yeah.
but for now you just need to know
Okay.
that asset
Okay.
is a sold product. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So then after inclusion comes the exclusion. So exclusion is a product. Whenever a product is added, now what we want to do is we want to exclude certain products. So like the other products should not be selected by the customer if one product is selected. So that is, then we have to create a exclusion rule. So if you see in this example, so sales CRM corporate is the product that we are trying to add, and as soon as we clicked on add to cart on sales CRM corporate, the sales CRM enterprise and sales CRM global, they are disabled, so they are grayed out, and I do not have a button to add them. This is because I what ideally, because this is just to follow the certain process, like whenever a customer, like a sales rep is selecting the products for the customer, creating things for the customer. So in order for the say, like in order to make sure that the sales rep is selecting the right product, and he's not messing up with the different types of products or the different types of customers, because so in ideal case, if he is adding a sales CRM corporate customer, like if he's creating a code for a sales CRM corporate customer, then he should not be able to create it for the enterprise and global, right? Because it doesn't make sense. So it's like you are creating you are selling a product to an enterprise customer, and then you are also adding a product of the small medium business customer. So because the price will change, price will differ, right? Like if you are, well, like the whenever a company sets up a pricing, for enterprise they set up some different price, for small medium business they set up a different price. So if we want to if the customer wants to, sorry, the sales rep wants to create for enterprise as well, then he will have to create a separate code for that. So that is why, so we can put in an a condition that whenever he's selecting the product, like out of these three, he should only be able to select one, because it will be specifically for a one type of customer. So either it will be a corporate, it will be an enterprise, or it will be global. He cannot mix all of them, or he cannot add all the products of the from the different customer types onto one record. Okay, so that is why we use the exclusion rule. So this is kind of also a very good feature to make sure that the sales rep is not messing up the cart. Then comes the replacement. So replacement is something that whenever we are selecting a product, we can replace that product with a different product. So this is something like this is mostly used whenever we want to do some upgrade. Okay, so here in this example also, if you see, we are getting a message based upon your selection, it is recommended that you upgrade to. So as soon as the sales rep selected Sales CRM Enterprise, he got a message that I think you should not select Sales CRM Enterprise, and you should select the Sales CRM Global, because that is a upgraded product that we have to offer. So then the sales rep will speak to the customer and will accordingly replace this product with the Sales CRM Global. So as soon as he clicks on the replace products button, he will see that the Sales CRM Global is now displayed, and now he can configure configure this product. Okay, so replacement is kind of a you just have to set up a replacement constraint rule where, and what it will do is, as soon as you select a product which is eligible for replacement from any other product, so you just have to, you can show a message and then you can get it replaced. So this is something that is a type of a replacement rule. Then comes the recommendation rule. So recommendation rule is something that whenever we want to recommend some products, so this is something also which we can compare with the e-commerce websites. So there are some products that are visible to us whenever we do some shopping, like they have an automatic system. Aptus is right now not that much capable, or not that much you know uh, so advanced that it automatically identifies what the customer has purchased, and what products we should show to the customer accordingly. So it is not doing that automatically, but what we can do is, if we know that there are certain products that we want to recommend always to the customers, then we can write a recommendation constraint rule. What it will do is, it will show the products which you want to display on the car catalog under this thumbs up icon. So there's a thumbs up icon, and you can just see all the recommended products there. So this is just used whenever we want to upsell some products. Some products, if they are not being purchased by customer, and if we want to just recommend these products so that the customers start to buy these products, then we can use the this recommendation constraint rule. And then comes the validation constraint rule. So validation is something that it will just throw an error that whenever you are doing something, like if you are clicking the finalize button, and if you want to just validate that, okay, if this product is added or not, so then you can just create a validation constraint rule. It will just present an error, and it will just, you can put in a message as needed. So I'll show you how this constraint rule is looking like in the environment also. So you see, so if you see, this is how a constraint rule looks like. So constraint rule name, you made sure this is active, and the constraint rule. So this is a constraint rule where what we have done is, if the triple play product, if a triple play product is selected, so product scope, under product scope, we are choosing product. So we can also choose a group of products, one like product family, product group, product field set. We can select all of these under product scope. So we are selecting product here, and under the product we have to select what is the product that we want to apply to. So this the conditional section is something where you will put in the product which which you will be evaluating, right? So for example, like I want to make sure that whenever I'm selecting triple play, the other product installation fee should also automatically get installed. So what we have to do here for in that case is just select the product and put in the triple play here. And now I'll just click on save. I'm just, if you want to make sure that the rule should evaluate all the products, then you have to check both the options, match in options and match in primary lines. You have to check both, and then I click on save. And then for the, this is my condition, and then in my action, if I edit it, in my action type is inclusion. Okay, so these are all the 5 different types of actions: inclusion, exclusion, validation, recommendation, replacement. So I've selected inclusion, and the action intent is auto include. So we have prompt, show message, check on finalization. So we have all of these action intents as well. So if we have selected auto include, that means what will happen is as soon as we select the triple play bundle, this one triple play bundle, when we select it, the CSD installation fee will automatically get added to the cart page. Okay, so this is how the inclusion rule will work. So in the action intent, if you see, there is auto include. So now if you don't want to automatically include, and if you want to show a message to the, you know, show a message to the customer, then you just have to click on show message, and you can put in a message that installation fee will get added with this product. Okay, so what I'm doing is, and the action disposition is error and warning. So if I want to just so what is the difference between error and warning is, if I'm giving a warning, that means we can, you know, the customer can cannot remove this from the cart. Like for this installation fee, he cannot remove it from the cart. And if I sorry, he can remove it from the cart, and if it is error, then it will be he cannot remove it to the cart, remove it from the cart. So like he will not be able to finalize. Okay, so that is also we can do that. If the customer wants to, we have to make sure that the customer does not remove it, or the sales rep, because sales rep is using the system, the sales rep should not be able to remove it after speaking to the customer, then we have to choose error. And if we choose warning, then we can, the customer or the sales rep can remove it from the cart as well. Okay, so this is the action disposition. Then action, the show message is something like this, where if you want to show a message. Prompt is something that it will just give a pop-up that, you know, this product is added. So that will be a prompt. And then check on finalization. Check on finalization is whenever you click on the finalize button, then only this particular rule will fire. So that is the check on finalization action intent. So here we get the product scope. Under product, we have selected the installation fee, and we have made sure match in options and match in primary cart is checked here. So these are my constant rule conditions, and these are my constant rule actions. So as soon as I fill in all these, and so what it will do is it will add the installation fee when you will be selecting triple play. So let's see if we also have, if we can see it on the proposal. So I'll open a proposal. So now I will add triple play. Okay, so I'll click on configure. So I will select select this triple play and click on update price, and then go to the so if you see, when we added triple play, installation fee also got added. Okay, so installation fee was not added earlier. I can also show you again if I remove it. So right now we have only 4 products. So now I just configure the triple play. So as you can see, as soon as I configure the triple play, installation fee is automatically getting added. So this is because of the constraint rule, the inclusion rule. Okay. So any questions?
Yeah, using the inclusion, right? We can add multiple. I mean, when we select one specific product, using this one, we can add another product out there, right? Then
Yeah,
what is the
we can
difference
add, yes.
between bundle product? Bundle product also is just like the same way, right? Because it will be having multiple products.
Yeah. Bundle product. If you are adding a bundle product, yeah, we can also add a bundle product. It's not, there is no condition that you can only add standalone or you can only add option product. You can also add bundle product as well.
Okay. I mean, in two scenarios, right? In bundle products also, we can have multiple products. If we select one product, if it is a bundle, then it will have group of products, right? There are just I'm confused a little bit.
Oh, so like, what is your exact question? What is your requirement? Do you want to add?
I mean,
Can you explain me
I mean,
by a use case? Like, can you tell me
yeah,
that if I want to have product A is my bundle product and product B is my another bundle product, if I add
right.
product by A, then product B should automatically get added. That is your
Yeah,
question?
I got it. In inclusion, right? Coming to the inclusion, if we added product A, automatically product B also get included. Okay, that is I
Yes.
understood. Okay, but
Yes.
coming to the concept of bundle product, right? We will have two products. I mean, multiple products can be a bundle. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Understood. Yeah. So in that case, yes. So if you are adding another bundle product, and if that bundle product has 4 option products, so then 4 option products will also get added.
Okay. Fine. Got it. Okay.
Yes. Because it is a bundle product. So yeah, if
Right.
we are adding a bundle, then under the option products inside that will also get added.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then also if you want to add multiple products, then we can use a product, rather than selecting one product, we can have we can choose the product scope as product group, and then we can also add multiple products. So if so there is a product group object. So I'll just show you. So what we can do is we can create product groups as well. Say for example, I want to create a product group for CRM products. So I will I will create a product group. So this is the product group that is created. So under CRM products, I can add all the products that are that have CRM in the name. So I can just select for CRM. So all the products, so sales CRM enterprise, sales CRM global, all the products I can add. Okay, so this is something that this will be a container. So, and then we can write a rule that if I'm selecting a CRM product, then all the products CRM products should get added. So this is also something that we can set up for the constraint rule. So whenever we want to add multiple products, so we just have to choose product group in the scope of inclusion, and then we have to select the product group.
Hey Jay, I have a question over there.
Sure.
So, what does this sequence means? What if I keep sequence as 111 and add different products? How does it impact?
Yeah, so this sequence is something that you might have also observed on every object of Aptus, right? So it's not
Correct.
only here,
Yes.
it is on every object. So what happens is whenever you are setting up or implementing the different things in Aptus, so what the system is checking, like evaluating the all the records in a sequential manner. So if you
Mm-hmm.
specify like if there is a requirement where you have to make sure that first this should execute and then the other one should execute, then you will have to worry about the sequence. Then you will have to put in 1 2 3, and you have to make sure that the product that you, or the rule that you want to execute first, or which you want to evaluate first, you will have to put in the sequence, like in the initial sequence for that rule or product. So but if you keep it one, then everything will be evaluated as per the system. So it will you don't have to specifically mention any sequence. So it is only whenever you have to make sure that you are you have to specify a sequence because of the any specific requirement, then you have to use
Okay.
this. So this maybe I think one example I can give you is say there are two rules, and so maybe one inclusion rule, and the first rule is like adding a product, like whenever product A is added, then product B automatically gets added. And then the third, there is another rule that is what it is doing is it is checking that product B, and then it is adding the then it has another like criteria. So so in that case, my rule, I want to make sure that my first that rule should run, which is adding product B, because the second rule is on product B. So in that case, the first rule will be the rule where the product B is being evaluated or added. So like that in that way we just have to make sure that the sequence should be in that way where we we are executing one rule, and then that rule, the other rule should fire only after the first rule is fired. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, so now I'll just also so I was just talking about product groups. So this is the sales CRM product group that we can create. So CRM products group, and we can just have to just choose the product scope as product group. Okay, and we select the product group, then we can add all the CRM products in one go or affect them at one place. So constraint rule considerations, yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. That the example that I just gave you. So one rule can have multiple actions. And that one is the second example, second point, that one rule can trigger another rule to execute. So that the example is that there are three products: product A, product B, product C. And what it is doing is product whenever so one rule, what it is doing is whenever product A is selected, product B should be automatically included. And then there is another rule that if product B is included, then product C should be excluded. Okay, so that is an example of one rule can trigger another rule. So because the scope is dependent on product, like product A, in the first one rule we have written that product, whenever product A is selected, product B should automatically get included. And then the other rule is that if product B is already included, then product C should be excluded. So the final result, we will have only product A will be visible to us. Product B and product C will not be visible, because there are two rules that are running one after the other, and they are on the product, like they are checking the product B, and one is adding the product B, and the other one, based on the addition of product B, excluding the product C. Okay, so that is one example where one rule can trigger another rule. Then use product groups to simplify administration. We can use product groups based on whatever we want. Like if we, rather than adding one product at a time, we can add multiple products by using product groups. Then match rules to drive contextual behavior. The match rules that we also discussed, match in primary lines and match in options, that is something that we can also check in order to make sure that the system is evaluating it correctly. So why we use constraint rules to upsell and cross-sell related products for increased sale? Again, I gave you an example that whenever we want to sell a product, like if you want to sell it for free, or if you want to just maybe we have to sell a product which is not that much popular, we want to make the customers aware about that product, then we use these constraint rules and put in some recommendation rules. And if we also to prevent invalid product combinations or configurations. So this was one example where if you are an enterprise customer, you should only be able to see enterprise products. You cannot see the global and the corporate customer products. Then we can also use the attributes to drive pre-selected configurations. So attributes like there we can set up those if you are selecting a value, and where on the basis of that the other value should gets selected, like some product should get selected. So that is also possible. So now we have just covered the constraint rules. So now the exercises, I think after I think 22, the last exercises for the constraint rule also you should be able to do after our session. All right. So now we will move into the pricing. Any other questions if you have on this basic administration, on all of the topics which we discussed yesterday and right now?
No, Jay.
All right, thank you. So now I will just go to the pricing. All right. So we will talk about the pricing rules, the price dimension, price rule set, and price matrices. Then the additional pricing concepts of conditional charge type, price ramps and tiers, usage and overage, and min-max pricings. So pricing rules, there are two types of pricing rules. Price dimension is acts as a variable, or it's just whenever you want to reference a particular, like whenever you want to use a variable in matrix and rule set, then you create a price dimension. So price dimension is, you can say, it's kind of a field value. It's a container which stores the field values. So price matrix, so it influences the pricing for a single price list item. And then price rule set, it influences pricing across a range of products. Okay, so whenever you are the major difference between price matrix and rule set is that price matrix will always be used for a single price list item. So that means it is applicable to single product, and whereas rule set, it will be applicable to a range of products. It is where you will not create a rule set for a single product. You will create a rule set if you have to talk about multiple products. If you have to make changes in the pricing of multiple products, then you will use rule set. And if it is for a single price list item, that is a single product, then you will use price matrix. And then price dimension, this is it stores the field data that is referenced to matrices and rule sets to influence pricing. Okay, so whenever you want to put in use some information inside the price matrix and rule set, then you will have to use a you have to create a price dimension. So price dimension is basically a field value or field data that we can refer in matrix and rule set. So now, based on your understanding of if it is price matrix and price rule set, like price matrix is for single prices item for single products, and price rule set is for range of products. So just a simple questions to understand if it is price matrix or price rule set. Okay, so When product X is purchased, the following discount thresholds apply: 500 units, 5%; 2000 units, 10%; 10,000 units, 20%. So
Price rule set.
Some metrics, price metrics.
why it is a rule set?
Because it's applicable to range of product. No, but 500 units of a single product. Okay, yeah. Then it's a price matrix because
Yes.
it's in
So
the
we are talking
quantity, but
about
for one product.
yes. So that's why it's a little bit confusing. So if we are not talking about range of products. We are just talking about the units of a single product. So in this case, we will use a price matrix. And all customers in Canada will be a subject to a 3% markup.
Rule set.
So all customers in Canada means a lot of products for all the customers.
Correct. It's a
Rule
price
set or
rule set.
matrix?
Rule set.
So it will be a rule
Rule
set
set.
because it will be for a range of
Range of
products,
products.
and all the products will have a 3% markup. We are not talking about a single product here. So now in order to see it also like how it is visible onto the cart. So in this example, we can see that there is a demo telephone service. So this is a product, and when I'm selecting this, adding this product onto my cart page, and if I'm changing the selling term from 1 to 12, I can see that there is a change in the base price. So the price is reduced to $17.99. So that means there is some price matrix logic that is running in the background, and that is changing the price of the price matrix. So sorry, that changing the price of this product telephone service. So the logic is that under the price matrix, we have specified that if the selling term is between 11 and 23, then we have to change the price to $17.99. Okay, so this is a price matrix screenshot, and here we can see that we have put in the last the end values of a range. So so whenever we want to set up a range, we don't have an option to put in the range, the first digit and the last digit. We just have one field where we have to specify the last digit of your range. Okay, so like if it is first is 11, that means it is between 0 and 11, where 11 is included. And if it is if it is now, this is 23, so that means it is between 12 and 23. 23 is included, then 24 and 35, and then 36 to 999. So if your selling term is changed and it is falling in any of this range, then accordingly the adjustment will be applied to your particular product. Okay, so I'll show you where you need to go. So we just have to go to a product. We go to product console. We click on edit on the price list item. And then in the bottom, we have this matrices tab. So under this matrices tab, just give me a minute. So under this matrices tab, I just have to click on the new button, and here I have to choose. So I'm choosing dimension, and under the detail, sorry, first I have to also choose the what will be my dimension. So the selling term, and then go to the back to the summary. So selling term, and the dimension value type is discrete range, cumulative range, and weighted range. So we have in this example, in the screenshot, we are talking about range. So I'm selecting range here, and then I go to the detail, and here I have to put in the selling term. So it's 11, 23, 35, and 999, 999. So here I want to give 17.99, and there are we can give so many different types of adjustments. We can give percent discount. So if we put in 50 here and choose percent discount, that means it will be 50% discount on the price, okay, the list price. And then if I'm putting in 17.99, and if I'm selecting list price override, then it will override the price that is mentioned. So the price was $19.99 in this example. If you see the base, this is 19.99, but it is changed to 17.99. So you might have noticed that base price, it is base price, that is 19.99, and but what we have selected here in the adjustment is list price override. Okay, so that is because there is a relationship between list price and base price. So these are the 5 different field definitions of pricing. So one is the first is the net price. So it is adjusted price with all category level adjustments. And then comes the list price, the standard price of a product or service, excluding all discounts, rebates, priced options, or other adjustments. And then comes the base price. So the list price for a product with all automatic adjustment applied, such as discounts. Okay. So now, so what is happening is whenever you are applying the discount on the list price, it will be reflected on the base price. Okay, so that is why if you see the definition is the list price of a product with all automatic adjustment applied, so discounts. So the list price, if you try to apply a discount on directly on the list price, it won't happen. Or the whenever you apply a discount on a list price, it will be reflected on the base price. It will not reflect on the list price. Okay, so because list price is something that will be set up and it will exclude all the discounts and everything else. So that is why now we are applying the adjustment to the list price. We are overriding the list price by $17.99, but it will be reflected on the base price. Okay, so now so that is why we are able to see the 17.99, because the selling term is 12 for the product, and then we are able to see the $17.99. So then now I'll show you. So here we are choosing list price override. Again, I'm just putting in the pricing. So here you just have to specify this list price override, and you just have to save it. So now the first thing that we have to do before we set up a matrix is that we have to create a price dimension. Okay, this because price dimension is something that we are using it in this particular for this particular case. So we have matrix type, dimension, condition, usage. We'll talk about condition and usage later. So first we are using dimension. So then if you can see, there are so many different dimensions that are being created. So in order to create a price dimension, we have to go to the price dimensions tab, and then we have to create a price dimension. So if I click on new, so here I just have to give it a name. So if I give selling term toss context type, so where your wherever your field is that you want to use, then you will have to select the context type. So my the selling term field is on the line item object, so that's why I'm selecting line item. So now I can see all the fields which are at the line item object. So I have selling term field here, so I'll select selling term. So I just have to choose related type and cumulative. We don't have to use this for our use case. So I'll just click on save. So selling term is the price dimension that I've created. Okay, so now once you create this price dimension, then now if you go back to your product, click on product console, click on edit, under matrices, click on new, and now you should see your selling term ethos that we just created. Okay, and then we have this value type discrete range. So discrete, if we select, then we can choose a specific values. So like say I have specifically the selling term is 12, then I have to for 12, whenever we are selecting 12, I have to give a 50% discount. So I'll choose 50 then percent discount. And there are also cases where if I want to increase the amount, right, so then it is called as a markup. Okay, so that we can increase the amount, mark up the amount, so it will add up the amount by whatever you are selecting the figure here. So discrete means that you have to specifically specify the exact value that you want to keep for your dimension, and then you have to apply the adjustment. So in this, as I've selected discrete, so that means only when I will select 12, then it will give 50% discount. If I select 13, then there will be no discount. If I select 14, then there will be no discount. But then if I select 15, then there will be discount. So there is no range here. It will be specific values, one-time values that you can see whenever you select the discrete. Okay, so there are many options as well, so you can explore them, and I will also share the guide with you, where you just can search for small points if you want to know what this field is doing, what that field is doing. So you can just do a control F and find on the guide. So I'll share that with you, and you can just explore that. So similarly for this price matrix, now we also have, so this is for whenever we are talking about a single product, okay, the price matrix. But now what if we have a range of products? So if you see in this example, all the products had $19.99, but I can see the extended price is the price after discount is 15.99 for all the products. So this is because we have set up a condition that if the customer rating is silver, then we have to do the discount on all the products, and it should be so what is the discount percentage, we will see that as well. So it will be 20% discount. Okay, so here what we are doing is we are creating a price rule set, and so this is how a price rule set looks like. So if you see, this is the top section where we have the rule set name, category, sequence category, and this is where we want to apply the rule. So if you see, the price rule set can be applicable to the whole price list. It can be applicable to the whole product family, product category, product group, charge type, and you can also put in an effective date and expiration date, like it should be valid till a specific time, or if you want to make it available for all time. And then you have to put in the rules, and in the rule you have to select dimension. And then if you see, what we have done is we have selected, so again we have to create a dimension here for the customer rating, and this customer rating field, but now you will see that this customer rating field is on the account object. Okay, so whenever we are creating a dimension, we have to use a formula field in order to fetch the customer rating onto our line item first, and then use that customer rating onto our price dimension. So, and then we will put in dimension one value. So the value type for the customer rating, we will choose discrete. So because we are specifying some values, so here we are specifying that if the customer rating is gold, we are giving 30% discount. If it is silver, 20, and if it is bronze, then it will be 10. So now if we see the customer rating price dimension, so if you see, the customer rating field is coming from the line item. Okay, but because this customer rating field was not present on the line item object, because this particular field was on the account object, so what we have done is we have created a formula field. So let's just go to the line item object. So we go to the line item object, go to fields, and here we have customer. We search for customer rating. We have this customer rating here. Okay, so if I see the formula of customer rating, so what we have done is it is a text of configuration account customer rating. Okay, so we are going to the customer rating field of account via the configuration object, aptus config2 configuration. So with the help of this lookup relationship, I was able to fetch the value of customer rating onto my line item object, and now as the value is on the line item object, I can refer it in my aptus functionality of price dimension. All right, so similarly we can have any other, like where if we have a field on account, opportunity, or any of the other object which is related with aptus line item object, then we can fetch the value and create a formula field and then use that inside the price dimension. So this is how we have used customer rating, and based on this, now the customer we are able to put in the discount at whenever we have customer rating as gold, silver, and bronze. Then accordingly 30, 20, and 10% discount we are giving to the product. All right, any questions?
No.
All right, great. So this is the price matrix and price rule set. So now talk about let's just also talk about, there are few more fields, that is net price, list price, base price, extended price, and base extended price. So extended price and base extended price, these are the fields that have a calculation out of the box coming from the aptus logic running in the background, but it's something that it's not mandatory to use in the implementations. Like like I have worked on so many Aptus implementations, but I've seen that the cost clients do not usually use the extended price and base extended price, because it is a bit confusing for the sales rep or the customer, to see the extended price, because if they don't know the calculation, it is difficult for them to understand. So that is why they generally hide this extended price and base extended price, and they have their own custom logic, and they just create their own field, and then it can be a formula field, and they can use the other fields like list price and net price and base price onto their calculation. So we saw that the definition of net price, list price, and base price. Now the extended price definition is that if it is the sum of base price plus the option price multiplied by quantity and term. So it is base price plus option price times quantity times term. This is the formula for the extended price. Then for the base extended price, the difference between extended price and base extended price is the option price if the option price is not added to the base price. So the only difference between extended price and base extended price is that the option price is not added, and the base price is times quantity times term is the base extended price. So these are all the pricing field definitions. So now we'll talk about the logic of why or like where we can apply the pricing. So the first thing that when we get the requirements from the customer, we have to identify and ask them questions that what are the different type of pricing that they want to implement, and what will be the key factors, like what will bring variation in the pricing. So we can it can be customer type, it can be consistent variation, it can be an inconsistent variation. So we'll see some examples here. So determine what influences variation. So it can be quantity, it can be customer type, and there can be many other as well. So for consistent variation, so that we know that this is a consistent variation that we see in every every industry, that there are VIP customers in every industry where we are selling the products. So they always have discounts for a particular set of customers. Okay, so 10% discount for VIP customers. So this is also type of pricing, and so how in order to achieve it. So this is again if we talk about technically how we can achieve it. So there can be a field called as customer type on account, which can be VIP and non-VIP. So what we can do is we can create a price dimension. Yeah, and so we can just first create a line formula field on line item object, fetch the customer type value from account, and then use it inside the price dimension, and then put in a condition that if the price type is equals to VIP, then we have to give 10% discount, and if the price type is equals to non-VIP, then there should be no discount. Then determine which are inconsistent variations. So small medium business customer, 5% off on MSRP for product A, 33% off for product B, and then no discount for product C. So these are inconsistent variations, right? So here we are not talking about a range of products, we are just talking about a specific product. So in these cases, we can only specify a price matrix because it will be applicable for a single product. So we just have to create 3 price matrices for one for product A, one for product B, and one for product C. Then how to apply pricing. So in ideal cases, so we have some general guidelines, but there are always exceptions. So whenever we have a customer type, we always have to define a price list. Okay, so like we discussed earlier, like if it is a US customer, UK customer, or if it is an APAC customer, so we have to create a price list. The price list will be the differentiator between different types of pricing. Then inconsistent pricing variation. So for inconsistent also, we have to define a price list that, if it is an inconsistent variation, then it will be, you just have to create a price list for that. Then if it is a consistent pricing variation, if it is for a single product, then we will define a price matrix. If it is for multiple products, then we will define a price rule set. So now just give me a minute. I'll just take a pop quiz. All right, so now I'll just take a quiz. So now you have to tell me how would you define pricing for the following. So if I just know the MRP of a product, okay, the price, if I just know the pricing of the product, what will I do? Like in order to use CPQ, and I know the product, I know the products, I know the price of the products for all the products, uh what will I do to define the pricing, like to start using that particular product? What do I have to do?
Inconsistent pricing.
No, it is not inconsistent. It is just uh, oops, it is just like what do you call, like you have a list of products and you have a list of pricing, okay, for those products. So you just know this, like you got a requirement from the customer that these are my products and these are my pricing. So the customer gave you a sheet where you have the list of products and the pricing in front of them. So you just have this information, and now you want to proceed. Okay, so what will you do, like in order to create a quote, and what details you need in order to create a quote?
I, I think you will be creating the price list item for that. Like for this particular product, this is the price. For this particular product, this is.
Yes, that is correct. Prices item he will create. What next? Like once we create the prices item, then the products and products have a price. By the
Correct.
when we create a prices item, it has that. Now, whenever we are creating a quote, how do I link the quote and the product?
Mm,
Like whenever I'm creating a quote,
So you have to assign those products into your what you did, the hierarchy, right? So like when you say this is the product A with this pricing, right? And then
yeah,
you configure that
yeah,
product.
yeah, hierarchy,
Using the
also,
formulas, right?
I get it, but there is okay, let me give you a hint. So whenever you are creating a quote, it is a mandatory field. What are the
Oh, the
mandatory
price list,
fields?
price list.
Yes, because price list is mapping, like prices is the container for products and price, right? So in order to link the product and the code, you have to create a price list, right?
Got it. Yeah.
So because you cannot link the product directly, like if you create a code, no matter if you create a hierarchy, no matter if you have everything set, once if you click on configure products, you won't see anything because there will not be any price list. You can only
And if you
see
don't,
products.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't populate the price list, you won't even see configure product button
Yes.
itself,
Yeah,
right?
that is correct. That is correct.
Uh, got it. Got it. Yeah.
So price list will be the answer. Then the second one is small medium business customers 15% off of MSRP. So for the small medium business customers, we have 15% off on the MRP of the products.
Consistence.
This will be a rule set, right?
15% off of MRP.
Because it's a range of
Uh,
products that you will be.
And discrete rule.
yeah, so yeah, because it is a small medium business customer, and we are talking about 15% off for the products. Yeah, so if it is a range of products, yes, it will be a rule set. Okay. And if we are talking about a single product, then it will be a matrix.
Matrix.
So
Matrix.
yeah, so I think it will be a rule set because we are talking about the MRP of a range of products. And then we have US versus EMEA pricing.
This will be discrete pricing dimensions, right? Sorry, the last one is dimension, but this one is US versus EMEA pricing. This will be your what was the next one? Like price matrix, rule set, and the last one.
US versus EMEA, I think we discussed it a lot of times. So whenever you have different regions, what do we do?
Yeah.
Category.
We create different price lists for that.
Yes, yes, that is correct. So it will be price list. So it will be US price list and EMEA price list. Okay. And then the last one, 5% off for buying greater than 100 units product A, SMB
It will be
customers.
matrix price
Yes,
list.
because we are talking about a single product A. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, price list, price rule set, price list, US EMEA, and price matrix. Okay. So now you know. So whenever you get requirements from the customer, and you know what are, if you know, like you just have to ask them questions like, what will be, like, will your products be available in different countries? How many countries are there? And then the next question will be, what is the consistent variation that you see, and what is the inconsistent variation that you see? So once you have all of those requirements, then you can map it up with the technical, you can technically map it with what you want to create for those particular products. All right. So now coming to the formula. So I think I just showed you that formula field. So we can use the formula field. This is the customer rating example. So we can use any other, create any other formula as well, and we can fetch the different values from the account or any other object, and then create our own formula fields on the line item object. So because I think this is very useful, because the requirements usually which comes from the customer, uh, they have already set up Salesforce. Like whenever they are implementing CPQ, ideally they have everything set up at the account level and the opportunity level. So what they usually come up with, or they ask questions, is that I have this field already present, can you utilize it in the pricing of the CPQ model? So in those cases, you just have to create the formula fields, fetch all of those values from the account object, and use them in your pricing. Okay. So now we'll talk about the attribute based pricing that we were talking about earlier. Okay, so this is called as a conditional price list item. So what we can do is, in order to use the attributes to influence the price, what we'll have to do is we have to play with the prices item. So we will have to make certain changes and make a price list item as a conditional. So in order to do that, I'll just show you. So for in this example, we can see that the product has three price list items: standard price, installation fee, and training fee. Okay, so now what we want to do is, on the catalog page, if the customer is selecting from the services required, if he's selecting training, then the training fee should be applicable. And if he's selecting the standard price or the installation fee, then this installation fee should be applicable. So based on whatever he's selecting, the value he's selecting on the catalog page, then he will be accordingly charged for that product. So in order to set that up, so if you can see that he selected training, and he can see the standard price and the training fee $350 getting added automatically based on the selection of the particular value. So there is no price that is written in front of it. It is an attribute, it is not an option. And but we can see that the price is getting added. So in order to do this, what we need to do is we just need to go to the product. So let's see if we have business software package. So I will click on product console. So here I'll click on edit on a price list item. So here this is a standard price. Okay, so I just don't want to make any changes on the standard price, but I want to make changes on my installation price, the installation fee, and the training fee. So here I have this training fee. Okay, so I'll just click on edit on the training fee, and then I just have to click on this charge type criteria. I just have to click on new, and in this I have line item and attribute. So if I want to put in a condition based on any field which is on the line item object, then I just have to select line item. But in my use case right now, I want to use like put in a condition based on the attribute. So I just have to just click on the attribute link here. Now here I will see all the attributes which I want to use. So my attribute was training uh, training or services. Yeah, services required equal to training. Okay, so I just have to click on OK here, and now I have made this particular price list item as a conditional price list item. Okay, so now if the customer or the sales rep will select training under the services required attribute, this particular charge type, $350 will get added to the price. Similarly, for the installation fee, I will go to the price list item. I'll go to the product console. I'll click on edit on the installation fee. And click on new, choose attributes, select services offered, services required equal to installation, and I click on OK. So this particular price list item is also now conditional. So whenever we are selecting installation, then $150 will be applied. Okay, so this is how we can use attributes to influence pricing, and this is called or this is also called as the attribute based pricing. All right, any questions? All good?
So attribute one question. Attribute is a one way. What are different ways we can put the condition?
Yeah, so other one was the line item. So if you have any other field on the line item object, then you can also use that. So if you see, if I click on edit, so attribute and line item. So in the line item, I will see all the fields which are on the line item object. So so again, this is also example of if you have a customer rating field that is on the account, that was on the account, and if I want to use it in the condition here for the chart for this prices item, I can also use that. Okay, so this is also if there's any use case where we have to evaluate a field which is on the account level, like we have to use that account level field in our the charge type of the price list item, then we can use it. Okay, any other questions? All right, so after conditional price list items, we come to price ramps. So price ramps, these are also this is a type of advanced price where we can give discounts based on the the usage, not exactly usage, but it is whenever you have a time frame as a parameter. So like you might have seen these kind of pricing in like whenever you take some subscriptions, or whenever you take a broadband connection. Sometimes what they do is they say that in first year we'll give you 50% discount if you use our broadband service, and then the second year if you are we'll give you 10% discount. So similarly, there are different types of products which offer these kind of uh, these kind of discounts, that which will be based on the tenure. So for 1 year 50%, but for the next year it will be 10%. It is also applicable on some of the DTH services as well. So in order to enable this kind of pricing, which will be like, which is changing over a period of time, we can set up the price ramps. So price ramps, we can set it up by via the cart page, and also we can set it up from the price from the prices item. So we see we have to, in order to enable the price ramp, first we'll go to a product. So I'll click on product console, click on edit. So the first thing, in order to enable the price ramps, is we have to go to the miscellaneous tab under the price list item and check enable price ramp. Okay, this is the checkbox. So we have to make sure that this checkbox is checked, and then we have to we'll see, once you enable this on the card, you will see an option of create price ramp. So once you click on this create price ramp, then you will see these options. So you will have to first specify the quantity, then you have to specify the selling term, and then you have to specify the start date and end date. So in the first year, the requirement is that first year 50% discount, second year 10% discount. So you have to put in the start date, so it is 2015, 1st January 2015, and the end date is 31st December 2015, and the percent discount is 50. And then the next year, 1st January 2016 to 31st December 2016, we are giving a percent discount as 10. So this is similar to how we have set up the price matrix. So you have to choose the adjustment type, you have to just select a range, it is a date range, and then you have to accordingly give adjustment. So once you do that, you will see that on the cart page, you will have the same product will get added multiple times. There will be 2 line items that will be created, because there is a difference in the date range, and then also there is a difference in the discount. So here we are getting 50% discount, and here we are getting 10% discount. So 2 line items for the same product will get created in price ramps, and then accordingly these will be charged to the customer based on the time period. So as soon as the time period gets over, the second particular product price will be applicable, and it will be billed to the customer. All right. So after price ramp, we come to tiered pricing. So tiered pricing is the type of price where we indicate the future rate of billing based on the consumption. So whenever we want to, so this is actually one more example which we see only in internet services. So like whenever we have consumed around 20 GB of data, then after that they say that we will charge for every 10 MB we will charge 1 rupee, or a specific amount. So that is kind of a billing that you are doing based on the consumption. So that is where we have to use tiered pricing. So in order to use the tiered pricing, again, first we will have to go to the price matrix, and we have to check this, is usage tier modifiable. This particular checkbox we will have to check, and then under matrices, we have to in the matrices we have to choose the matrix type as usage, and also in the price type we have to select usage, and in the price method we have to select tiered rate. So if you see in this screenshot as well, the price type is usage, price method is tiered rate, and under the matrices the matrix type is usage. So these three things I have to specify on the price list item, and then I have to give a range. So if it is 1 to 3, then the 50 is the unit price. If it is 4 to 6, then it is 75. If it is 7 to 10, then it is 100. So this is the range that we are specifying, and this is based on the usage of the product. Any questions?
These three fields are standard fields. I mean,
Yeah, the
based on the
Aptus out of
public.
the box
Okay.
field. Yes, they are
Okay.
coming from the Aptus. So you have to make sure that you use these, because the in the backend the logic is written on the basis of these fields. So you have to make sure that the first thing is you have to make sure that you check the checkbox under the miscellaneous tab, that is usage tier modifiable, and then you make sure that the value of these three fields should be usage tiered rate. So accordingly the pricing will be applicable on this product.
Okay.
All right, so this is all about tiered pricing. Then comes the min max pricing. So min max pricing is pretty basic, but it is very useful. So whenever you are setting up the minimum price and the maximum price at the product level, then what you are doing is you are enforcing the price. So if you are putting it minimum price is 5 and maximum is 120, so that means that no matter how much discount that you give for the product, right? So if it is the list price of this product is $25, so and now if you are trying to give a 100% discount and you want to sell this product as in $0, so it will not be possible. If even if you give 100% discount, the price will not be reduced below $5. So the minimum price that will be applicable, even though if you are giving 100% discount, you will still be charged $5. And similarly, for the maximum price, no matter how much uplift or markup that you do to increase the price, but you cannot increase it more than $120. Okay, so this minimum price and maximum price, they enforce that the pricing should stay in the limits, even though when you're trying to adjust the pricing by applying some discounts. Okay, so now we'll talk about the how to apply the pricing. So we just saw that there were so many different ways of applying the pricing. So in order to apply the price for a customer type, we will define a price list. If it is an inconsistent pricing variation, so these are just the general guidelines. There are always exceptions. It's not mandatory that it will always be the same. It might also change based on the exception, but ideally whenever we have a customer type like US customer, EMEA customer, then we'll use a price list. If it is an inconsistent pricing variation, then also we'll use a price list. If it is a consistent pricing variation, if we are talking about single product, we'll define a price matrix. If it is for multiple products, we'll define a price rule set. Now for when it comes to advanced pricing, if we are if there are multiple types of charges for a product, then we have to use multiple price list items for the same product, and then we can also use conditional price list items as needed. So I think one example that I gave earlier was Airtel DTH. So whenever you are purchasing a product, Airtel DTH, then you have the standard price of the product, like for the set-top box and the dish and everything, and then you have the installation fee for that particular product. So like the Airtel the guys come and then they install the product and then they charge for installation. And then there is also maintenance, that after 1 year, if there is a problem in the connection, or if it is not running smooth, then you give maintenance as well for the same product. So there are multiple price list items with the different charge types, and then you can use conditional price list items as well, based on the if you want to use any line item fields, or if you want to use any attributes. Then price, term, or other variables change over time for a product purchase. So if there is a change in price after a certain period of time, if their selling term is changing after a certain period of time, if there is any other field that is changing over a period of time, then we will consider price ramps in those kind of pricing requirements. And then if we are talking about estimation and billing for future use of a product, so whenever we are talking about that this particular product is a usage product, that we will use it probably for the next 5 years. So we have to plan what will be the billing after 1 year, after 2 year, after 3 years, and if there is a particular limit that we have to apply, then we will be using price tiers. So it is based on the using the particular product. If something is changing, then we have to consider the price tiers. And then customer specific or contractual pricing. So we have contract pricing. So contract pricing is nothing but when we set up the pricing at the contract level, then we use that. So this contract is something that we'll talk about in the CLM training, and then we'll discuss about it in detail. So I think that is it for the pricing. So there, for all of these topics, we have exercises which we will also have to do. So I will now share those exercises guide as well with you, and I will also share uh, the admin guide, where you can also find about small things. If you have questions to if you want to know what is this field doing, what is that field doing, you have to do a control F and find in that uh, guide. I'll show you. So this is the admin guide, and in this admin guide, you just have to search for anything which you want to search. So if you see, there were a lot of different types of range, cumulative range, and discrete. So here you can also find about what are the different range, the example of different range. So if you see, we just in the example we saw discrete and range. So what is cumulative range? So the cumulative range is the values will be evaluated cumulatively. So for example, if quantity is 15 and price is $1 for a range of 0 to 10, and price is $2 for a range of 11 to 15, then the cumulative, if you select the cumulative range as the value type, then the calculation will be 10 into $1 plus 5 into $2, that will be $20. Okay, so this is whenever you want to implement a calculation based on this logic, then you have to select the cumulative range. Okay, so the discrete we already know. So if we want to specifically mention it, then we have range. When you just then you can do that. Okay, so this will be the guide that I'll be sharing with you along with the student guide. All right, any questions?
So Jay, you are going to share the recordings, right, for yesterday and today?
Actually, I am not responsible for sharing the recordings. Mind Magic's team do that. So I'll just follow up with them. So you have not got the recording yet?
No, I don't think so. We did not get it yet.
Okay, I
Ashish, on the
will.
chat, they have asked for the Gmail IDs. Just check. I mean, they are sharing it on our Gmail ID.
Yeah, but I just wanted to confirm that who will be actually eventually sharing. So if you can please follow up Jay with them. I think we already
Oh,
shared. Most of us shared the Gmail ID which was asked for.
okay. So yeah, ideally, I think they upload it in a drive, and I think that's a Google Drive, and you can only access it with the Gmail Google account. So yeah, I think I'll just follow up with them, and we'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I'll just share the exercise guide for pricing and this admin guide, and then we will meet tomorrow at 4 p.m. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.